Hello everybody, welcome back to Watching Walford. I'm Ash, and today we're going to go through the finale of the soap stunt week. We're going to talk about all of the events that transpired. They are going to be separated into two videos this time, as it feels like there was a lot of detail and there's a lot to go through. So without any further ado, let's get into the final 1 hour of Emmerdale in the soap stunt week, whatever the fuck it's called. So obviously we kick off this episode as we're preparing for the Chaz deal to go through. Aaron has stolen Kane's phone and sends a message to Vinny, and who obviously comes to try get him out. We get some very more comedic scenes where Aaron's like, "Get me out," and then he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Come here, you kick it down," and then Vinny's like, "I found the key." Good comedic scenes. And obviously he escapes as Caleb pleads with Kane to be a little bit smarter about it. Like, alright, you don't need to be the fucking hard man now. You're an old man now. Fucking sort it out. And Harry has the power with the deal and demands that they see the money before they see Chaz. And he toys with them, but then makes sure that Chaz is taken out of the boot. As Harry is pleased with the money, a Land Rover drives and runs him over. It's Aaron. He saved his mum, but it's not for Chaz, it's for his money. And this distraction results in them wanting to put Chaz back in the boot, but Caleb grabs a pipe and Chaz is let go. As Aaron finally gives up the money, but drives off saying, "There's no way he'll be back in the village." Chaz yells at Kane and Caleb as Chaz is sad that she's lost his son, and in the end, Aaron pushes Kane into the car and says he's going to end him if he ever gets in his way again. I'm liking the Aaron stuff a bit more this time. It's nice to see him actually have an edge and have a reason to have an edge, rather than him just kind of be a bit like Mardy, but just that's it. Like, that's all it really is. Obviously, he's angry about losing Liv, and still desperately blames Chaz. So obviously, there's a lot of reasons as to why he would be upset like this. So I am actually liking it. I've never really liked Aaron that much. I've not really watched through many of his relationships, as most of us do, to get into soaps. Like I said, Emmerdale is my least appreciated one, but I'm liking this new version of Aaron, because a lot of times characters just have that edge and threat, and they're like, "Yeah, I'll fucking do you in." But obviously, a lot of time it doesn't feel like the characters actually will go through with it. This feels like Aaron will push Kane until Kane fights back. Oh. Jay is having a little cry and says it's time to tell them the rest of it. He explains that Amit is his biological dad, but Rishi is his actual dad, as he's the one who brought him up and raised him. Meanwhile, Amit explains to Sunny that him and Rishi had an argument which escalated as he followed him inside the house. He describes how they were having an argument at the top of the stairs, but Rishi lost his balance and tumbled down. He didn't call an ambulance and therefore let Rishi die. Amit claims he lost his balance, but there's ample reason to believe that he pushed him, and Amit emotionally blackmails his son into not speaking about this to anyone. I'm not saying he's guilty. I'm not saying he pushed him down those fucking stairs, but he definitely pushed him down those fucking stairs. Oh, we were arguing at the top of the stairs and he lost his balance. It's like, I don't know about that, Chief. This stuff feels very I don't know. Perhaps there's just an issue with me disliking Jay. I have no reason to like Sunny, and Amit I'm already have no reason to like. I just don't like any of these characters. Jay is an absolutely mardy fucker. He's just an absolute stick of his arse knobhead. And I don't understand why he's still there. It's nice to see. I'm glad he's still got a job and everything. But the character's just a massive piece of shit. I don't really understand why he's there. And But yeah, Amit definitely pushed Rishi and killed him. Let's be honest. And even if he didn't technically kill him, he did kill him by the fact that he didn't give him any help. Mac is trying to play down grabbing Charity instead of Chloe, and is trying to make himself believe that it meant nothing. Charity does thank him for saving her life though. And Mac sits with Amy and Chloe, so Mac and Amy are both upset as they try to talk to her, but Mac can't handle it and walks out. He lashes out at Maura and is finding it very hard as he's burying his feelings, and he's making these really shite jokes that's just, there's not funny. It's just like, why are you being a dick? And obviously he's being a dick because he's struggling to deal with what just happened and the responsibility of it all. Mac's never really been one for big responsibility. I still desperately don't want Mac and Charity back. I want, just give it Mac and this like edgy Aaron, you know, just, whoa, go on. Mac explains to Moira how he had the chance to grab Charity or Chloe and is dealing with the guilt. He's worried about losing Chloe and just losing Ruben and all. This stuff was a bit groany. I've seen a lot of stuff online that suggests that Mac's just a bit of a gobshite. And people are just really had enough of this stuff. And it makes sense. Like, I get it and it makes sense, but ultimately, what the fuck is this? Sorry, distractions. Like, a lot of people are just complaining about the Mac stuff. And I don't know, I'm tired of this. I want all characters to get a break from one another. Obviously, they're intertwined for this now. And it's going to be annoying. But ultimately, I just think they all need to get out this storyline. I think the storyline's been dragging everybody down rather than bringing them up. Like the Mac and Charity relationship to me was always very meh. It's like, Mac, why are you settling for someone like 10, 15 years older than you? And you're settling down to be a father to her kids, kind of like. I don't know about that. It felt like this obviously wasn't the angle that he was supposed to go. But this is where he is now, so ultimately, I don't know, you've got to fucking run with it, I guess. But yeah, ultimately, obviously it's going to be an overarching storyline. Well, like, maybe Mac and Charity get back together as Chloe wakes up, and just as they're all happy, it's like, ain't this cozy? You look like you're seeing a ghost. You know, some shit like that. And maybe they get remarried or something. I've just had enough of it, honestly. I think it's time to pull the plug on the Mac, Charity, and Chloe stuff. And it's ironic because this is obviously ramping up even further. But yeah, what did you think about that? Oh, is my tea cold yet? No. God damn it. And finally, the main stuff, which is the Craig and Lydia stuff. But yeah, it's Sam is taking Lydia to the police station, and he's making sure that she's fully okay with it. She says she's fully sure. And we then see her enter the interview room, and she clearly states, I want to report a rape. So, you know, she's built herself up to actually be able to talk about it. Lydia details the build-up to the rape. It's a very emotional and empowering scene. Like, she kind of does it where she kind of like rambles a bit, but it's all like very like, it's not entirely like fully detailed, but it's a genuine insight to how it happened, and it's quite harrowing and quite emotional. But it was really well done. I thought that they did a really good job of this one. And obviously the police officer takes them seriously and talks to them, and we'll see how it goes from there. But then she gets back home and fills everybody in as they prepare to tell Samson. Samson, who in my experience is an absolute fucking gobshite and just is a selfish piece of shit. She says, look, I wanted to put a stop to your work experience. Because Craig raped me, I don't want you going there anymore. And then he just goes, as Craig admitted it. And then Samson starts to like reason Craig's side and just storms off. I wrote, man, what an unlikable asshole. Samson believes that Craig wouldn't do something like this, and Sam yells at him, trying to give him a reality check. Like, yo, what would you do if you told us something like this and we didn't believe you? It'd fucking suck, right? But later on, Samson reappears and goes, what can we do? You know, what can I do for you? He says, I didn't want to believe it, but I believe you. and he like acknowledges what she went through. All she says is I want you to support me, and he's like, I want to see Craig one more time in that fucking dock in the court, you know. And Craig gets arrested as we see the receptionist tear up and nearly cry as he's pulled away. And it makes me believe, as long as a lot of the Reddit and the Twitter people probably believing that Craig also did rape the receptionist. And yeah, it's it was pretty good. It was a very strong way to do it. I was slightly worried that I wouldn't be too interested in these scenes, as obviously the stunt's over now, so now we're just dealing with the aftermath of all this. But I think that the Lydia stuff really has carried a lot of it this week, as well as the Aaron, like Kane and Caleb stuff. I do like the new edge that Aaron has. I'm slightly intrigued by the Dingles, but ultimately the Mac, Charity, and Chloe stuff beyond the stunt has just been a bit of a letdown. Just because, like, I just don't want any of these characters to do well out of this. And, like, it's just shit all around. I don't want Mac to go back with Charity or Chloe. I don't want Chloe to wake up and be like, yeah, fuck it. How's it going, Mac? Let's raise our child together. Like, but it just could be... Okay, now that's what 2 hours of soaps do to you. I just want them all to be out of this storyline, but I simply know that that's not the case, and it's going to continue, and oh boy. But all in all, I thought it was quite a strong stunt week. I probably expected a bit more out of stunts, like we had the car going off the side of the cliff and Aaron running over Harry. But, you know, I am intrigued by the Dingle drama out of their standalone episode. I will probably cover that on the channel if I actually watch it in time, but I'm already very far behind on all of the soaps. So, like, even though I've watched this week, I haven't watched any previous Emmerdale. I'm like a week behind on normal Corrie, you know, like Hollyoaks is in the bin for now. It's not been watched since the stunt week. But yeah, it just... The Lydia story is very strong, and I'm very pleased that it's been given the time and respect it deserves. The actress has carried it fantastically. She's done an amazing job, and it gets to have, obviously, Sam and hopefully Samson, and just the Dingles obviously deal with something as strong as this. It's kind of a joke that when Emmerdale gets hard, they just throw in a rape storyline in there. Because they really do love to fall back on the trope. But at least at this point, they've become very good at showing it. So I do just want to give it all the credit in the world. The Max stuff is the most groan-worthy, as it means we're stuck in this limbo with him going through his struggles with his grief, and then the Charity stuff, and then is Chloe going to wake up? And his awful just shit, like, one-liners that aren't funny for anyone at all. And the other thing I wrote before I wrap it all up is just saying, like, I am liking Aaron with more of an edge, but I did pose the question to myself, because as told, I'm not a big Emmerdale fan personally. Like, I know enough to be able to get by and not be completely sidelined. But ultimately, will I be watching Emmerdale after this? Yeah, I don't think so. I just think there's a lot of good, but there's a lot of bad, right? There's a lot of good stuff, there's a lot of intriguing stuff, but, like, is it enough to have me hooked and I need to know what happens next? No. And I would love for it to be the thing, but the main issue with Emmerdale is it's obviously, I watched like 3 soaps otherwise. I used to watch Neighbours, but I haven't watched it since the reboot, since the first week. And it's just whether I can put more time to doing it. And I don't know if I really like enough of the characters in Emmerdale to actually warrant the time. But what did you think of this stunt week? Did you like it? Tell me in the comment section down below. Tell me a fact about Emmerdale that I will be surprised by, and you will make me a fan of Emmerdale. Ultimately, I probably won't be watching it after this, but I will appreciate for what it was. It was a very strong soap week. The storylines carried it quite well. The stunt was good. You know, a lot of intriguing aspects, a lot of stuff that's going to continue the story forward, but unfortunately I won't be watching it unless there's a massive outpouring of support for it and people go, fuck it, I want to see you cover Emmerdale, even if I am a baby in terms of Emmerdale knowledge. And yeah, so thank you for watching. I've been Ash from Watching Wolford. Make sure to watch out for the Coronation Street one. That will be, I'm going to edit this, I'm going to put it out, and then I'm going to sort the Coronation Street one just afterwards. And there we are. Obviously, Coronation Street one is a bit more anticipated. Corrie is one of my favourite soaps, like fundamentally, but also I really dislike Stephen Reed stuff. So will I like the finish? What happens? Watch the next video. But thank you for watching this one. I've been Ash from Watching Wolford. Make sure to join me in the next one. Bye bye.